What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Just Say. Today we're gonna decide if I can get married or not because we will be talking about we wanted to do this episode because we are all in the gig economy. We all went through COVID. We all have very unstable income, and I thought of inviting a guest
with the most unstable income that you can think of.
Correct.
Yes,
correct. Who needs to make money from performing?
Okay, this is all. Hold on.
Who put me up to this? Seriously, Muna, is this you? Muna, did you plan this? Muna?
I didn't plan this opening.
You want to invite someone who suffered from
Okay, no, we want
funny.
Yes.
Wow!
I love
that. The first thing.
So you, I read a bit about you.
What do you mean you read a bit about me?
Don't you know each other?
Yeah, okay, so we've known each other. I've heard your life stories before. One of which that caught my attention was that you used to be a cleaner.
Yeah, at 16, I think I was trying to find jobs that would like get me through the holidays, and then at that point of time, nobody was like really hiring if you're not gonna work for more than a month. You know, my dad knew somebody from a cleaning company, and then he was like, "Hey man, if you want to just work with us, you know, we could give you just a month's pay." And I was like, "Damn man, if I got like $1,000 from this, I'll be balling in school."
$1,000?
It's good pay for
16-year-old.
a 16-year-old man. I was balling, you know.
So since then, you've always been working like different jobs. Like at some point of time, you were also a stuntman.
First of all, can I just say I made a wrong choice wearing this jacket.
Since 16, you went on to do like many different jobs.
Many different
you were a
jobs.
stuntman also.
Okay, so the whole idea in my head, right? I was like, listen, I'm not doing very well in school, so I don't really know what to do. So anything that happens in my life, right? I only know like I don't want to work a job that I don't like to do. So I just don't want to do something that's boring. Yeah. So 16, I went back to school. Then I went to NS. Then during NS, I was an MPCC instructor. I teach little kids how to shoot guns.
Wow, so fun. Real guns?
Real guns, real .22
Wait,
guns.
why are the kids shooting guns?
Because it's part of their
You point that you tutu.
No, tutu is the caliber number, not the sound of the gun.
I know, yeah. That's why you say point tutu.
And then
So then at that point of time, there were like comedy clubs that were just running these comedy clubs for expats. So I went there and I was like, wow, I was so amazed. And I was like, hey, these are all Angmos. Do you have like a Malay person's local perspective? No, you don't, right? Then I'm like, hey man, I can give you that. And then they were like, oh, you sure? Can they come back next week? So when I was doing that, somebody from Universal Studios came, and then they were also looking for like local actors at the time. And then they saw me and they were like, we're looking for a stunt performer. And I was like, I don't do stunts, you know? And they were like, oh, you're gonna have to be in the water. And I'm like, I'm Malay, I barely swim. You know, so I was doing pretty well for myself all up to COVID. In fact, like leading towards COVID, I was like, oh damn, I can buy a house this year. This is dope, you know? And then after that, you know, I can get somebody to sponsor my renovation because you know what it is, right? You know how the game goes.
you know how the game goes.
You know how the game goes. Go like, hey, we're looking for a collaboration. So I was like so excited, and then when COVID hit, and I guess the gig economy took a hit. Yeah, so that was when it started to get very challenging for someone like me.
Yeah, and I feel like it like for you, okay, like the legit entertainers.
Yeah.
When you need to perform in front of thousands of people who are laughing at you.
With you!
At your jokes.
With you?
So it's like comedians, DJs,
Yes.
dancers,
Yeah.
everything. I feel like all of them got affected the most, right? And I feel like you guys were already making money before, and then suddenly like loss of income.
Oh man, if you're talking about like the money we made when gigs were thriving, oh, it was so good. It was so good because you have like 2 a week. You could literally, you know, spend on something big this week and then be like, yeah, I'll make it back next week.
At that point when you were making so much money, were you saving money?
I wasn't making so much, but I was making more than I would imagine. So I started saving definitely. Because you scared because last time you were. So you save until you're like, okay, if anything, if my leg breaks, you know, or if I lose my voice, I got like 3 years to figure this out. What I was thinking was just you accumulate as many years as you can. If you can't work, then you know, then at least you got this, and then you figure this out as you go.
Were you making money throughout COVID? No.
No,
Zero.
not zero lah. Got the online stuff. Did you see? I turned into Venom.
Okay, I think firstly, your being an influencer is not your first job. You're a comedian first.
No, yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then COVID happened, and then how do you plan for the next month then?
I think you start from ground again. You gotta think about brand building again. You're like, okay, what do people know you for? What do people like you for? They like you because you're a funny guy, right? And if you're a funny guy, then you gotta post funny. You know, you can't try and post handsome and then try to pass it off as you're not. You know, people didn't follow you.
Yeah, it really won't work.
Yeah.
So I started doing like posting my stand-up videos on TikTok and all that. Yeah, that's the first time like you rebuild your brand as the funny guy. Now you're the funny guy online. So I think the building the brand part was probably the most challenging, but fortunately I managed to do it.
Okay, honestly, during COVID, like I couldn't plan for the next month. Like, it's not as good as now. Like last time, it's just like, okay, what am I gonna do next month? I can do this for this month.
Yes.
And then the other annoying thing is that, you know, payment terms. Payment terms are like, the minimum is like 30 days, 60 days. I feel like that's the problem all influencers face, and all influencers cannot fix.
Okay.
But we still do it because we need the money.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like I cannot plan for the next month. It's just like, wow, how do you do it? How do you plan for your next month? Even up to now.
When COVID hit, it was difficult. Like, I was very worried because to me, things were gonna be at a standstill. Like, I envisioned not having a job at all because I was dependent on live performances. I was dependent on like doing production and all that stopped. But I always knew years before, even being in this industry, is that it's always never stable. But the good thing is that I think during circuit breaker, like what worked for us who have like had presence online is that things were moving online, and everything like to performances, everything wanted to use that media.
There were a
advantage,
lot
right?
of like mask companies, health companies, soap companies, whatever.
Soap
and they were
companies,
like,
wow.
yeah,
Where are those posts? Can I
like, for example, like okay, not me lah, but like, you know, they're like,
right.
where do we put in the ads? Where are people now? People are online.
Yeah.
So then they just pumped the money in and in and in.
And like theatre or like music, they wanted to create shows that were online that
Online,
could still reach out
mixed
to the
media,
audience.
yeah.
So in some way, it was definitely new, but like people were moving there. So that's why I felt like, okay, at least there was some sort of improvement. But anyway, in terms of finances, like to me, you always need to plan for when you're down and out.
Okay.
So that's why like when that hit, I was worried for what else I could make in the future, but at the same time I knew that okay, I have some sort of base to work with at the moment.
But I feel like it's also very difficult because like I think you might not get it because you have jobs
earn a lot of
every
money.
month. Yeah, I think like you're one of the most successful influencers in Singapore. That has jobs
For
like,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
Meeting.
Like if it's not Instagram, it's acting. If it's not acting, it's like whatever it is, right?
If not, just saying.
Ah.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about what you guys are saying is that it can apply to like everyone, not just people in the gig economy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people did lose their jobs. Whole companies were closing down. If you work in nightlife, you bartender, can lose your job also.
Yeah.
So I think that's why more people are like turning to the gig economy.
Yeah.
And now people are going to enter the gig economy who have not been in the gig economy before, trying to balance it with their full-time job. And it's like for all those people, like they're just going to have to find ways to hedge their bets, similar to what Muna did.
To be honest, I have no format of saving money. My thought process is I pay all my bills, and then what I have left, I look at it, and then I'm like, okay, what can I spend? What can I not spend?
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like that happens because the different gigs I do equals to different amount of money. So there's no like 1 month where I make, okay, every month I'm gonna make 5k. No. Last month I can make 1k, the next month I can make 2k. No, then 3k, then go back to 1k.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, again, I don't know how to navigate this.
Well, every time you get some extra money, and then the next thing you know, God says, "Yo, check out this new drop," and then you're like, "Whoa!" And then Dew will be like, "I get some money, 500 next month."
But then so like if you do have like side cash that you put aside, you can put it into like some sort of savings or like investment plan then, right?
Yeah.
And then that can like grow on its own while
Yeah.
you keep making other money.
I feel like to manage the finance in the gig economy, if you're doing like a side hustle thing, I feel like the only advice I'll give is make sure you're not only doing like one side hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2-3 streams of income is very important.
Yeah, so I feel like that's the best advice. To manage your finance better, and because the gig economy, the payment, firstly, is not as stable or it's not as fixed. So you need to look at yourself and like, okay, if I want to do this gig, for example, if I want to be a comedian, what else can I be with this comedic skill that I have? What else can I do? And then put yourself in a different market so that.
That's why I realized, bro, I'm virtually unemployable. Like I only work on one skill for like 10 years, bro. Like the stand-up comedy skill is the only skill I work on. When you go out there and you wanna, I wanna do what jobs? I gotta stick to this.
I disagree completely with, because to be a comedian, you not only need to have people skills, you need to be very intelligent.
Yes.
And I think that's what you play down, how high your EQ is.
Okay.
Which means you can do any job in sales, and I bet if you did sales, you would kill it.
This is why I'm voting for.
Sell what?
This is why I'm voting for Jaden to be answer. You see?
Wait, but a sensitive question. Have you guys ever borrowed money throughout this influencer life?
Oh hell no! Thank God, never got there.
I only borrowed once.
Is it?
From who?
Yeah, one. For my brother lah.
Oh.
Buy cigarette. Like old
If
school.
I want to borrow $10, At that time, I only left was like, I think $4,000 in my bank.
Wow, scary.
Damn scary. So I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe next month I'll make money. So I'm like, let me borrow some first and just put it in my, so I don't touch that 5K. I think I borrowed like $2,000 from my brother. Immediately next month, I think we did like 3-4 episodes. I'm like,
Wow, thank God.
thank f***ing God.
I need to tell you all this thing that Wang Wei Liang told me when it comes to savings like this. When I first moved out of my mom's house, I only had $2,000. So I rented this room from my friend's house and the rent was $1,000 per month. I told myself, at least I have 2-3 months of rent. If I'm down and out, I should be able to find this 1,000 in these 2-3 months, right? So during that time, when I was renting and all, and then like, I started making a bit more money, and then I started moving into a bigger house, right? And then I was thinking to myself, like, do I want to have a car? But I told myself, like, hey, but if I buy a car, then it's a lot of expenses.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can afford it, right? And then I told Wei Liang this, and then Wei Liang was like, brother, you must think like this, bro. Cannot think like this, bro. You must get the car first, so you work hard to afford the car, bro. Bro, no, cannot think you cannot afford, bro. You think you cannot afford, your mind's small, bro. You get the car first, then you think how to afford the car, then your mind expand. Then I'm like, this kind of abeng mentality I need.
I somewhat agree, because like,
Really?
ever since I moved out,
Yeah.
I feel like, wow! And then like, every job I take,
Yeah,
every job I take,
yeah.
I'm like, take. And then like, with that mentality, I'm like,
Okay.
actually this buy me a lot of money, sir. I feel like when you are making money, you get lazier.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
when, for example, like that mentality of buying the car first, and then you know like, I need to afford
You
this
need to stay in it. Yeah.
your mindset will change.
I am like of the opposite. I believe like spend like within your means. But I'm old fashioned when it comes to money.
Okay,
Yeah, I
I
get it.
totally agree
That's
with
why
Jay,
I'm old-fashioned.
but I see Wei Liang's mindset
Yeah, I
if
also see
you
it.
turn it into not so much like car, for example, but more like, okay, let's say like for
House.
me, I am working with so many people and I work with people on different projects. So to me, I want to work harder to make money so that I can pay the people I work with a lot better.
Oh,
So
right,
that's
right.
what drives me.
Right.
But
Off the
you
feet,
are
yeah,
working so hard, motivated by debt.
Mm.
That's scary. That's not like
Is that fear
life.
that drives you though? Is that fear that drives you?
Okay, maybe it works for your case. I just can't like get on board with something like that. That's very scary.
Okay, I mean, I think a car is a bad example.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
a car.
yeah.
So like it's
I feel
more
like a
like
house.
sustaining.
If the car had like utility and it was like, I want to become a delivery driver. Yeah, you get the car,
Exactly.
right? But if you just want the car for luxury and you're like, I can't really afford the car at the moment,
Yeah.
don't get the car.
At that
Yeah.
point of time, it was to get from gig to gig lah. So
But
Wow, that sounds like bad advice. I get. No, I feel like the moral of the story is to open up your mind.
that is not the
No,
moral.
I
No,
it was the idea. It was the idea.
What he was trying to say
what?
is.
Okay, I give you an alternative.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay, 1 month ago, my sister calls me and she says, I really like this Chanel bag and I f***ed her upside down for it. Scolded her. Because she just bought a house, so she's already
Yeah.
in debt. She bought a condo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said, you think you're making a lot of money now, but you need to remember you're in debt. You're in debt. So then she's like, okay, I won't buy. 2 weeks later, her laptop broke. And because she didn't buy that stupid bag, I said, right now, would you rather have spilled water on your Chanel bag that you can't use? Or would you rather spend that money on a laptop? It's a laptop.
Yeah.
You always have to save for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Don't buy things that you cannot afford.
Yeah,
Ah,
correct.
that's what I
So
think.
that's why I think
Yeah,
okay,
No, I'm all for that
that's
too.
great. But I
Yeah.
think like where the fault was because he was talking about a luxury item.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah.
like if it's a luxury item, it's something that's not gonna like propel you anywhere or help you with anything, then don't buy it if you can't afford
Especially
it.
since it's a depreciating asset. Damn, a car is really a bad example lah.
Okay, next phases in life. I feel like my next phase is I'm ready to get married.
Wow.
I don't know yet lah. Finding
But that's
people to
what
get
you
married
want
lah.
to. You want to settle down.
Yeah.
Settle down. Do you have a candidate or what?
No, okay, I don't have a. Okay, maybe I do. I don't
So
know.
okay,
yet.
now you're
hold
dating
on, wait.
to settle down. You're not dating to just like be frivolous anymore.
I mean, I don't go
Frivolous.
into a relationship pushing marriage lah or pushing an agenda. I always go in.
Push it, dude. Okay.
I feel like my friends play a part in this stage of life also because my friends are having so many babies, also all getting married. And I feel like you know what? Maybe my next relationship or this relationship that I am in might turn to that. And am I ready for that? And then the first thing I thought about was like, if I need the BTO, I need CPF. I mean, people have been paying my CPF for a very long time for like 12 years of my life, right? And then now I need to pay my own CPF. Yeah. So how do you guys manage your CPF? Because as self-employed people, we choose where to put our money, right? Inside
Exactly.
CPF, there are 3 accounts in our
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
How do you guys manage that?
Just put in
Yeah. For me, okay, for me, it's what you can do is you can put aside a sum of money and then you go to CPF and then they will do the calculations for you so you know exactly what goes into all your 3 accounts.
See, this is why getting married is very important, you know, because you need somebody who is like more literate than you to figure this out for your life. I really want to find, you know, someone who can do this better than
Same,
me.
yeah.
Because I'm a doofus when it comes to these things, man.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm an ape, bro, when it comes to this. I'm not even the good NFT kind, you know, I'm like a real ape. So if I can find someone that can sort this out, so I think you should think of the marriage first and then let the CPF
Can you
work it out.
Enough.
You know, when some people are saying like, oh, why can't we keep our CPF? You know, our problem are
Return our CPF.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Then like, I feel like once you're a freelancer and then you have to pay your own CPF, that's where you will like, ooh,
A bit hurt, right?
a bit
Yeah,
hurt
yeah.
because like when you work full time, you don't pay your own CPF.
Yeah.
I mean in that sense, right? So
Yeah.
you don't see the money going to your bank and then go up. The money going to your bank is after CPF.
Correct.
already.
Yeah.
So you don't feel the pinch. But now,
Yeah, when you have to make an active contribution.
But then-
correct.
But then you can look at CPF as just one of those things that you have to put in, like how you have to pay for rent, how you have to pay for, I don't know, utilities.
yeah,
It's
I
just
now
one
I
of
put
those
CPF
things.
as one of the utilities that I have
Expenses,
to pay. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, it's just mentally it's
In
annoying
the
lah.
long run, it's
Yeah.
better. And now that you want to get married,
Yeah, can
Yeah.
combine the CPF and then just, you know.
Wow.
No?
Yeah, actually that's the one.
Can combine CPF?
Combine CPF.
Yeah,
You didn't
lah,
know
to buy
that?
a house
Yeah,
lah.
to buy a house. Can. This is news to you?
What? I would. Oh, lucky you tell me.
Okay, obviously you
Never
never
just like,
thought of marriage.
been wasting my time with foreign men.
You mean I can combine with a local guy?
No.
For you to
I thought it's your own. My own is my own. Your
For
own
you
is your
to,
own.
that's why there's single schemes, right?
I know, but I always thought even when you're married, you are going to pay for yourself. This
No,
is
then
my
why
house
would you
I'm
need to
going
marry? No, why do you need to marry to be BTO? So like, you can
Muna.
combine the CPF.
Yeah.
Yeah lah, but one of you who wants to own the house is the one that buys it.
Oh, both.
No.
Both.
That is the law.
I
already, man.
totally
You can't-
got it all wrong.
Wow.
Who do you guys go for life advice? Hey, life advice, finance advice.
Financial advisor. I have an advisor. Yeah,
Yeah.
I should call more often.
Yeah, your Wei Liang friend, right?
No.
Don't listen.
No.
Sorry,
Wei
William.
Liang.
We
Okay,
love
listen.
you, but who do you go to for financial advice?
I mean, I have friends. I have my financial advisor that does my insurance and everything. But there's also this group on Facebook called The Borrow.
Oh, okay, yes.
So The Borrow is by DBS, and inside there, guys, so like there's a lot of like-minded individuals. So they discuss a lot of things. If there is there's a better credit card, they will say, oh, it's not used for groceries, it's not used for that. They even ask questions like, what do you guys think of divorce? Should people ask for 50-50? You can ask questions also. I mean, there are polls also, like how much of your salary do you put into CPF investment?
But I guess it's good because these are the kind of conversations that you sometimes have with friends because you are curious or you want to know more about certain things. So
Yeah.
to have a community
Yeah.
that's helpful, right?
Yeah, and then like sometimes I read also, I felt quite hurt because like
Eh.
one of them is like, if you are doing more jobs to get more money, means you're not successful. You say if you want to make more money, make sure the way you're making money should be passive. Like for example,
Okay,
housing.
okay.
I'm like, oh wow, bitch.
Why?
I got no money to buy a house.
She
what?
just attacked all of us.
Yeah,
chill
But
lah.
in some ways that's
Yeah.
true because yes, making money is great, but you gotta be smart
truth
about
hurts.
how you
Truth
make
hurts.
money. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, I'm 29, only how to buy house.
Yeah.
Like good for you, your father money buy house, right?
How you know? Maybe they make the money themselves.
Yeah. Wow,
You got
Yeah.
triggered. Wow, look at you reacting a bit too much to this.
So we've come to the end of this episode. I hope you guys liked it. Obviously, some of us are going through a quarter life crisis. Yeah, I would like to thank Faz for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And if you guys want more financial advice, you can check out the group The Borrow, which is a community of people just like you and me who want to achieve the most out of your financial life.
Correct. The Borrow is on Facebook. Just search THEBURROW. We'll leave the link in the comment section below. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye!